of writing a formula from a graph, what if we write a graph from a formula? But wait, that sounds a little complicated. How would we do that? What would it look like? And is it even possible? Let's take a look. Here is a coordinate plane. Using this equation, let's graph a line. But before we do that, these numbers look a little complicated. So what do they mean? Let's use our original formula. In this formula, m refers to the slope of a line, and b refers to the y-intercept, or where the line meets the y-axis. So let's turn to our equation. 3 is the slope of our line, and 2 is the y-intercept, or where the line meets the y-axis. Now that we know this, let's graph the line. Now, in order to graph a line, we need 2 or more points. And we already know the y-intercept, which is where the line meets the y-axis. So let's start by making a point there. The y-intercept is at +2. So we can make a point at +2 on the y-axis. Here is the y-intercept. Now we have 1 point. But how do we graph a line using 1 point? Let's turn to our slope. We can calculate the slope as the rise over the run. And we're given the slope of 3. So let's rewrite the slope. We can rewrite the slope like this. Remember that 3 upon 1 is just 3. This gives us a rise of 3 units and a run of 1 unit from the point that we already have. So we can rise 3 units from the y-intercept. 1, 2, 3. And we can run 1 unit. 1. This gives us a point here. Now we have 2 points. So let's connect them and graph the line. Great! So we graphed this line using this equation. Y is equal to 3x plus 2. Now let's look at another example. Let's graph a line using this equation. Y is equal to negative 3x minus 1. So what's the slope and the y-intercept in this equation? Well, the slope is negative 3, and the y-intercept is negative 1. So let's start by graphing the y-intercept. Since the y-intercept is negative 1, we can plot a point at negative 1 on the y-axis. Now, in order to find another point, let's look at the slope. we calculate slope as the rise over the run, which in this case is -3. So let's rewrite the slope like this. Keep in mind that -3 upon 1 is simply -3. This means that we rise -3 units and we run 1 unit. Starting from our y-intercept, we must rise -3 units, or 3 units in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3. From here, we run 1 unit in the positive direction. 1. So we can plot a point here. Now that we have 2 points, let's connect them and graph this line. Here is the line that is graphed from this equation. Y is equal to -3x minus 1.